Welcome to the final mailbag of 2022. As is the tradition with mailbags, we do a little bit of a Royal Rumble at the end of the year. So this week we have got Keith, Dan, Matt, Warren, Charlotte, and Dave. Everyone looks suitably festive and ready to go. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to kick off with the questions we didn't get through last time. A little bit of a two-part of this one, I suppose. So first one will go to TWS. A little bit of a Christmas one. Jolly old Saint Nick gives you the keys to the club shop. You're allowed one piece of current merchandise for Christmas because you've been good this year. Debatable. What are you having and why do you wish they'd get Gossart or NYCHYL or someone to do some beer? I'll come to Keith first on that one.
It's got to be zip shorts on it.
Got to be.
The only thing worth having out the club shop is the zip shorts.
Yeah, they'd be on this. They'd be going cheap soon, won't they? Or relatively cheap.
Well, you'd hope so. And also now that we're coming out of the darkness of December and moving towards January, and the spring is on the horizon, we're heading swiftly back to shorts weather.
It shouldn't be too far off. Just a couple of degrees warmer at all. Charlotte, what are you getting?
A cap.
A cap.
Can't go wrong with a cap. Yeah, because that means I don't have to have my greasy hair out. Put my cap on, sorted.
Fair enough. I know the feeling. Sort of. Dan?
It's going to be a tracky top because I've been buying the Everton tracky top every year for the last God knows how long. As you can see. Whee!
Oh, God, yeah, I thought that was the shirt. It's the tracky version, isn't it? I've got the blue one of that. Yeah.
So that's what it'll be. Just keep that collection going through.
The Boca Junior style one looks really good this year.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the one. Warren? You're on mute, mate.
You are on mute.
There, right. I'm just looking at it now. I reckon I'm going for this coat, you know. Just look how nice it looks. This blue one here. Can you see it? Let me unblur me screen there. Hang on. That coat. Can you see it?
No,
Right. No.
There we go.
Ah, yeah,
the blue one.
Oh, yeah.
I just looked at that. That looks dead smart. I'm going to go for that one.
So for anyone listening on a podcast, it's like a royal blue windbreaker, just dead plain with Hummel and badge and some nice chevrons down the arm.
Nice chevrons, good chevron action.
Yeah, I'm a kind of chevron kind of guy. So yeah, let's go for it.
Into that, Matt.
I would say the green tracky, both pieces, but also the figure to pull it off. So I could go like full Sopranos, like zipped halfway down, vest underneath.
That needs to be your vibe for 2023, you know. Just walk out to yours in now with a carton of oranges and getting the paper. That's the one. Dave?
I'm looking for a more practical approach this year because when you mentioned the zip shorts, I've got every single type of them now from the last 2 years. And I've worn them about once or twice. Some of them I haven't worn at all. So that's what I'm going to use for the summer. Like when Keith said, when the weather gets better, I've got a few things ready for that. So with that in mind, and because I've just jumped onto the shop now, 14 quid. This is a bargain for anyone else. Like, I don't drive anymore, but I still have my car. And like my missus drives me. So I've started to bother things about, why she left stuff in the back of the car there and hasn't threw it in the bin and all that. So I'm going for the Everton car mats, 14 quid. The whole collection for my car. So, yeah, that's what I'm going to go for, really. And it means that, like, I can take the dogs out and all that. And any mess in the car, I'm able to sort it out until I'm allowed to drive again, if that's ever the case.
It's not a bad shot, that for 14 quid. I think I'd go with Matt and the green tracky, the elusive green tracky.
Yeah.
Pretty good gear, that.
Oh, we do pyjamas as well now for 14 quid.
Yeah, I seen them yesterday. They look awesome. They're like all blue. They look absolutely stunning, but they don't do with them in women's sizes. So
just baggy men's ones then.
Yeah, them baggy.
No, I would. I'd just be like, this is me fellas.
Foxy asked. Keith, I'll come to you first again on this one because it's right up your street. What would be the easiest to capture and cling film to a tree? It's your question, basically. A bee, a sheep, or Rondon? Easiest is judged by speed to cling film and least chance of injury to yourself. So obviously this was asked just after Rondon terminated his contract, and how we could have done with him on Boxing Day. Bloody hell, when we had the jet-heeled Neil Mopey running through on goal instead. Keith?
So to capture Rondon, it would probably involve like an international flight, because he's definitely like gone back to working in a supermarket somewhere in Central America now, isn't he? A bee or a sheep? I reckon a sheep. Employ the same tactic that the Welsh use for their romancing. Get the Velcro gloves. Come, sheep's going nowhere. Take him to the lamppost, secure him. Bees, why would you want to interfere with the bees? They make honey, they're lovely animals. Let them fly free. Save the bees.
That's fair enough, yeah.
I reckon well-known hedgehog conservationist Hamish Azul would also be up for bee conservation.
Is everyone else up for bee conservation?
Oh yeah. Otherwise, without
Free the
bees,
bees.
we'd all be dead.
Well, yeah. Well, we put a bee hotel in our garden about 2 years ago. Not one little fucker's checked in. Not one. Ungrateful bastards around here, honestly.
Look,
Do you know what?
look at where you live, lads. You're on the wrong side of the river, mate.
That's where you're wrong. Use that side of the river. I always say that, and you're so wrong.
Less of the Monster Island slander, Dave.
No, bring them more of the Munster Island slang.
What's that?
Bring more of the Munster Island slang for Quickie.
No, we'll have none of that on here. Anyone else? Any thoughts on a sheep or Rondon? Because we're leaving the bees alone.
Well, he is a tree, though, isn't he? He was a tree.
This is true.
So you just, I mean, he put down roots and had to be forcibly removed. The geezer is a tree.
Who would win in a foot race? Him or Dwight McNeil?
Dwight McNeil.
What do you mean? Well, what do you mean a foot race? What's a foot race?
Just
like
running.
you put your feet in
Just
front of
running,
you.
basically. Yeah, I don't know why I said foot race. Who's winning a race?
So a run.
Basically, yeah, who can run fastest, do you reckon?
I was thinking you put one feet. I thought you meant put 1 feet in front of each other. I was like, I don't know, who's got the bigger feet, but fucking them run, then run down, I think.
Bad times, isn't it?
The ref against Wolves was faster than both of them.
Oh, my head fell off when I saw Matt tweet that today.
Unbelievable.
The ref outpaced our players. Fucking hell. Absolutely pathetic. Right, we'll move on to Joe's question now. Who asked, his friend has a Eurovision party every year with food from the host country. Besides scouse, what food should they make for next May? Matt, come to you first on this.
Do that again.
So Joe's mate has a Eurovision party and he puts on food from the host country. So besides scouse, what food should they make for next May when obviously it's in Liverpool?
Well, the obvious one, salt and pepper chips, isn't it?
That's a shout. Salt and pepper everything. Yeah, Charlotte.
No.
Oh,
Do you use my ma's curry? Because it's very scouse.
do you use curry?
But in a curry way.
Okay.
It's pretty boss, to be fair. Or I'd make something like I made fresh pasta once, but in a scousest way possible. Awfully.
I think you have to bring some curry samples to the Denby.
I can do that. I'll get her to make some like little like moves on boosters.
Bang into that. Next Denby disco. Dave?
Well, I hit something that I haven't had for a few years over the weekend, and there'll be some of you might even heard of these things, but I'd go for prawn vol au vents.
I had some of them on Christmas Day.
How
What
nice
the
vol au vents.
What is that?
Let's explain this because it is hard to. I find it hard to explain.
It's just like a little puff pastry case that you hollow out and put like prawn cocktail and prawns in, or you can put anything in really.
People will put like egg in it and all that, won't they? But
Yes.
salad cream with prawn inside them. And
Of
then
course, Of course, it's got fucking salad cream if you're involved.
Hey, you and your salad cream, bloody hell.
What is wrong with you and your salad cream? Leave it
No,
out.
Yeah. I think I just have a pint of salad cream.
Dan?
Well, for you lot, it would have to be something flambéed in Underberg, wouldn't it?
Oh, yeah.
Because I'm sure that shit looks mega flammable anyway.
Feels it as well.
Yeah.
Underberg.
Anything that comes in a tiny little vial, you know, that isn't basically a department store aftershave, has got to be Larry as hell in it. You know what I mean? It's like
it is.
Vile is the pertinent word there, Dan. Horrific.
Every
No, I think instead, I like it.
I wouldn't even put it in my car windscreen wipers as antifreeze.
Yeah, but
Bad idea.
at the end of the day, it can fit into your purse. You can stick it into the grab. Half time, chug it. You don't even remember the second half, and everybody's winning.
It is the perfect match day drink. Just smuggle that in.
So
Neck it while the game's on. You said
Smuggle
before, a bit like that fella a bit like that fella who drank the poison. That's what it's like at half time at Goodison. Necking an Underberg, hoping it all goes away. Anyone else, Keith?
I'm with Matt on this. It's got to be salt and pepper, everything. Get some shumai in there.
Delta. Warren?
Keith, you never had shumai, salt and pepper before, had you, until a few months ago?
I know, you introduced me to it.
Oh, hang on, salt and pepper shumai.
Yeah.
Yes.
Ooh.
Top notch.
Special.
Yeah, okay. I'll have to get onto that. Warren?
Well, I'm going to keep the theme of honey going in this conversation, like we've touched on. In our school, we had the lads who me mate, he's the diversity lead in the school, and he got all the parents together who wanted to organise an international food festival. So all these different foods from all these different countries. Then we had like cheese balls from Brazil, which were incredible. We had Thai curry. We had all these different things. But the one thing that I still can't find it anywhere online to search what it is. It was an Afghanistani dessert. I forget what it was called, but it's basically a bit of pastry with some honey on. And it sounds like it's just something you could get in like Greg's or something. It's not. It was unbelievable. It had like a nut taste to it as well. Forget what it was called. So that makes it pretty useless, because if I could say what it was called, we could, find out what it is. But Afghanistani dessert, that's what I'm going for.
Sounds a bit like baklava.
Yeah,
It does.
It might have been. It might have been. I don't know, but it was spot on.
Afghani dessert also sounds a bit like heroin, but there we go.
I mean, who's going to say no to that?
Exactly. I mean, it's
very Moorish.
It's a bit of a diverse mix there with all our answers. So I think whoever comes for your house is going to love it.
Going to be in for a treat there, yeah.
Aye.
Joe's second question, based on the Everton Stadium survey this week, which was last week, which I still haven't done. What would make you stick around the fan zone post game? Fuck all now. At Goodison or Bramley Moor. Matt, what's keeping you after the game?
Reasonably priced pints with decent ale. It's as simple as that. No one wants to pay £4.70 for a 330ml bottle of Carling. It's just not happening at all.
No. Well, you can get like 4 for 20 quid or something, can't you?
Yeah, but that ends, doesn't it? Like an hour before kickoff or something stupid.
Does it? That enticing offer ends early.
But yeah, if they just had like a decent. I mean, it's a stadium that's going to hold like 50,000 people every 2 weeks. Like, surely they could go to any kind of European brewery and say, "We'll have a massive order for you." Once every 2 weeks and everything. Get proper, like the Everton Denby, like your Kaltenberg and your Veltons and that. Yeah. Well, not Kaltenberg anymore. It's Eichbaum now, isn't it?
Miss Kaltenberg, but Eichbaum, the tree beer is a good replacement.
Yeah, and a craft beer as well for the pretentious ones among us.
Like Keith,
and rum.
What are you having? I know you love an IPA.
Yeah.
Nah, sewage, dishwater.
What's keeping you at the game afterwards then? Shane?
What's keeping me at the game?
Yeah, so the question was, based on the Everton survey, what would make you stick around in the fan zone post game?
Oh, not a lot, to be honest. Well, it's all dependent on the result, isn't it? Because like you've got to abide by the rules. 2-0 down, back to town.
Fair.
So if we're getting beat, then probably nothing. If we win, yeah, decent ale. The rum, get the rum in.
Any type?
Let's go into rum, shall we? I'm partial to a Kraken. I got a nice bottle of Kraken for my Christmas. A little Dead Man's Fingers pineapple editions always goes down well. I'm a spiced rum man rather than any other type. So one of them with a ginger beer.
So basically, at the minute, Everton not being shite and decent ale.
Yeah.
Yeah. Dan, any advance on that?
A massive tent bong.
Oh,
Maybe we had that before the game.
To numb the pain.
Yeah.
You know, it's just like Centre Parks, you know, the dome,
Yeah.
but it's just completely filled with vapour, and all you have to do is walk through it from one side to the other, and you've evaporated all the pain and suffering.
Yeah. And it's just passively done as well. So
Passively, yeah. There's no combustion. You don't have to worry about that. It's all safe. You know, kids, women and children passing through the massive tent bong to, you know, absolve yourself of the 4-0 defeat to Ipswich Town.
as it will be, unless they go up, obviously. Yeah, so, sort of have that sort of on the way out of the booing section as well. You can have that. Calm everyone down. Warren?
I'm going to go for an in-betweeners movie style party boat that's just docked on the Mersey. And what it does, you go on and it's got your array of all your drinks that all the lads have talked about. It's got, probably won't be in the mood for Everton songs, will we? So it's got whatever music we want. It just does a lap of like, I don't want to say a lap, just sort of, you know, up the Costa del Mersey, back down again towards maybe where the airport is, and loop back up towards the stadium, drop us off. We've all had a few beverages, we've all had a good time. We've been at sea, we've waved at all the people on the ferries, and then we walk back into town. That'll keep me there after the match.
I like the idea. That could do drop-offs at Woodside as well. And see
You could do drop-offs, you could do all sorts. Yeah, you could do all sorts, yeah.
Yeah, we could maybe float this when we buy our hovercraft.
I think you should look into some sort of boat tour or boat gig or something. I don't know. It should be something linked to it, because if we're on the dock, you might got to get the boats involved, haven't we?
Yeah, definitely. Bang into that. Dave?
I'm going to stay and boo for as long as I can.
So the thing keeping you there is Everton still being shit.
Yeah, us losing the game will keep me there longer than if we win one. If we win one, I'm content. I'll go into town. I'll have a couple of pints and everyone stays merry, and then we end up going on with the chippy tea. But if we lose, I'll stay there until I see the last person out, just booing and giving abuse and possibly being arrested. I'd happily do that.
Fair enough. So just keep on going as we're going.
What a fucking joke of a club we are.
Oh, we're horrible.
Wouldn't have it any other way.
You know, the thing is, literally the only thing I love about our club is the fact that we have this community right now together. It's the only thing decent that's come from the shit show of a club that we all love.
It's all just the context now, isn't it? That's the only way we can look at it, really. No one's enjoying it.
No, we're not going to win any never.
No. Shaw, what's keeping you at the game? Dave just said Everton being shit, so we can boo for as long as possible. So that was a plot twist.
Oh God. Probably absolutely nothing. But so, for example, I was out on County Road after the Boxing Day match the other day, and I was getting fucking rounds in for like £9, like 4 people. You don't get that in town. So if they did that there, or like a fire show.
A fire show?
You know, like of people like setting themselves on fire or something. I don't know.
Well, yeah, I mean, yeah, self-immolation could be for 2023, to be honest, the way we're going.
You know, people would stay and watch it, wouldn't they? They go, oh shit, look, that man's on fire.
Yeah, it would be quite a show. Fair enough.
I'm
So
just
which player
saying
are we
that's the
gonna
only
put in the
reason I'd
Wickham
say
on
it.
Yeah.
Oh, I know who I'm putting on, but
Hey, I tell you what, though, you are on the Dock Road, aren't you? So there's all sorts of shit that goes on the Dock Road of a night.
There is that actually. That could be an interesting walk back into town, couldn't it?
Absolutely right.
Right, so we'll come to your question now. There's two of them. If all the players were single, who will be the biggest player? I assume by that you mean the toppest shagger, not like the 6'4" fella.
not like actually that you're a good player, because that's absolute shite, because no one is.
Yeah.
Who would be the one who's like shagging at all times? I know the answer to this, but I'll ask you guys.
Can we get what evidence do you have about the answer?
Because my mate has told me so.
Oh, fair enough.
No, my mate is like that. No, my
Your mate
mate's
is
a player. Oh, fuck off.
Your mate
No,
has
you don't.
allegedly told you.
No, she hasn't shagged anyone. She just knows the players.
That have allegedly have them.
That's what it, yeah. That's what I was going for.
I reckon Pickford would be a dirty little bastard. Honestly, like a top little shagger.
In his youth,
I agree.
You'd see him with someone in Stanley Park. He'd shag her and get off in his taxi and get a taxi in town.
It really is a good job no one listens to this. Matt, save him.
He's been hanging around phone boxes in Sunderland, hasn't he? Surely.
Oh God. What about Iwobi?
Iwobi.
No, he's too.
No,
That's the lifestyle, doesn't he?
I say, right. Say I reckon does love a goose. Before I reckon a good gooser is Godfrey. Godfrey. I reckon he
well, wouldn't he?
But he's just had a kid, hasn't he? So he might have changed his ways now. So in that case, the crown has been passed from Godfrey to, let's go someone random like Begovic. Why not?
Begovic, imagine, yeah.
With his gloves on, though.
Nothing else.
Dan?
See, I think it's more pay. He's a good-looking geezer, and he's French.
He's called Neil, so I don't think he's French.
He's got to get at that as well as he is a fussy.
No, that's why that's maybe what is, his mind's on something else.
Yeah, could be. Just on that theme, historically, Mick Madar must have been a top shagger.
Good hair.
I don't know why, but I used to think that James McCarthy was a top shagger for no reason whatsoever.
It's do you know what it is, Dave? It's the cheeky face. He's got a cheeky face, which leads me on perfectly onto my answer. The biggest gooser at Everton is Nathan Patterson.
Oh, of course.
Right?
Of course it is.
Cheeky little face, 21 years old, living in a new city. He's about like he's in Mojo every weekend.
He must have been licking arse around Glasgow as well, him.
I'm just gonna move away from that and go back to your Mojo comments. And Morris Johnson.
Morris Johnson.
There was a fellow who knew his way around, definitely.
Hands across the divide and all that.
Bloody hell. So, Charlotte, I think we're well into litigation territory anyway here. So you might as well tell us what your mate said.
Oh, she conveniently got off here.
It might be best that she's on mute for this bit.
She's just asking her mate if she's allowed to ask it.
Sorry, I asked her to mute because there's a bit of background noise and it looks like it's causing murder.
No, James McCarthy's just walked in.
Char, you're on mute.
Look at that! What a time to have a technical hit.
I know they're like the suspense.
Les, can you admin her off mute?
Absolutely killing me.
I can't. No, all I can say is ask to unmute.
This is sensational broadcasting. This.
Isn't
This
it?
is like this is done. People connoisseurs to the mailbag will accuse us, Les, of doing this on purpose to build the suspense.
This is vintage mailbag though.
Oh yeah.
And as I've said before, you wouldn't get this on the Annie Rap. Telling you.
No. The only heartbreaking
Tell you
thing
what-
here is this isn't going out live because this would just be sensational.
It would be, wouldn't it?
This
would be
should
great
make
over
for
the
a good
Twitter
post
space.
match.
Yeah.
We'd have all sorts of guesses flying in and everything. Actually,
Right, can you hear me now?
Yes.
Oh!
Right, so you have this thing that says tap to mute, tap to not. It's on your phone. It's a bit complicated, this. Right. Okay, so I've been told, so we were with my mate the other day who's the player liaison officer, and we were all asking her, like, who would be getting with each other? And I said to me, I said, who would get with any of me? And she went, you wouldn't suit anyone. I said, are you fucking saying I was 22 men? I wouldn't suit any. I was like, wow. And then she said, Pickford maybe, but you two would be reprobates and never go home. I said, what about Mason Holgate then? And then he said, oh no, he's a shagger. I wouldn't let you. He just shags everything that moves. So there you go. There's the answer.
Is the player.
Mason Holgate is the player.
that is a shout, actually.
I mean, he's a good looking lad.
Yeah. I just
Yeah.
remember that thing of him in
Holgate.
Dubai.
Yeah, he's fit as fuck, like, but you know, I'll let you guys know. I'll see if I can get in there. You know what I mean?
Yeah, let us know.
Oh, you on about Holgate there?
Yeah.
Premature ejaculated him.
But good to go again within minutes, so it doesn't really matter.
Exactly.
Charlotte, your next question, can you remember what it was?
No.
I'd imagine it's shag, marry, piss off a cliff.
It's not. We did that one last week. So this one is, which player would you have the best night out with in the Denby Castle? Well, Mason Holgate, obviously.
Slap it
Jordan
out.
Pickford. Just there's no other answer to that. Can you imagine Jordan Pickford in the Denby Disco?
Yeah.
Patterson.
They can't hear you. They put me on mute.
That's rude.
No, it's because there's an ear. Or
You're
am I
you're
not?
on
I'm not on
mute,
mute.
I'm kidding.
There's James McCarthy's wife.
So, Keith, Jordan Pickford, Dan?
Yeah, it was going to be my choice actually, because he'd just have it massive, wouldn't he? He would absolutely big fish, little fish box the life out of it, wouldn't he?
Get the rave on.
Yeah. I don't know. Tom might be a good laugh.
I think he would.
He might bring some shrooms with him.
Are you talking about? Are you talking about Tom Davis?
Yeah.
Oh, absolutely. Fucking hell. We'd be getting absolutely stoned, shroomed up, acid, you know.
Yeah.
In his pajamas.
Warren?
I think Patson would be great on a night out. I think he'd have that like clubland, like happy hardcore sort of vibe to him. But do you know why? Like no one ever mentions him as like a good sort of shagger or night out person or anything like that. But I reckon he'd just be one of them who'd just sit in the corner. He'd get around him when it was his turn. Wouldn't argue about it. He'd just sit quietly, just neck, have a few whiskeys now and again. Then occasionally just go out and have a big cigar. I reckon Michaelenko would be good on a night out, you know.
Yeah.
Just hardcore on the ale.
Yeah.
And then Patson will be raving his arse off to like, I don't know, whoever Hicksy was the DJ, wasn't he? The happy hardcore DJ, raving his arse off to a bit of
Hicksy
DJ.
and Dougal.
Yeah, now we're talking.
Bonkers Volume 3.
Oh, I'm 15 again.
Dave?
Paul Clement. The reason why I just envisage him being exactly like Tony Adams was like on Strictly. Do you know where he just was really, really shit, but would do it all the time because he thinks he's good, but he's not. He's the type who's like, you know, embarrassing old fellas who go somewhere where the kids going and it's meant to be really impressive.
I feel seen. Yeah, by the way.
You've what?
I feel seen by that comment.
Your dad goes to the pub.
Mate, I'd love to see you dance. You know, I'd pay to see you dance, Les.
Well, we could come to an arrangement if you want.
Just in your bills. Just with nothing on. I'm filmed.
The thing is with Paul Clement, he'd have to bring a more famous man to come stand next to him.
Him and Ashley Cole.
Because that's all he's done. That's all he's done his entire career is stand next to a more famous man than him.
Problem with Ashley, if he brought Ashley Cole wouldn't stand next to him. He'd stand about 3 foot off to the side.
He wouldn't be on any of the photos, would he?
Very niche reference for you there.
Matt? People who don't know that, you know, Keith, what you just said there, I reckon there's at least 2 or 3 people who won't know what you're talking about there.
100%.
Leave it that way. Leave it that way as well. Let people.
Yeah,
you're definitely one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Leave that one. Matt?
Well, you did say the question a night out in the Denby, didn't you?
Yeah.
So you don't want Pickford because he's a bit too Jaeger bomb. You don't want someone who's a bit of a party boy.
Imagine Pickford on the Underberg.
You're going for pub vibes, and for that, I think it's got to be Seamus.
Yeah, I agree. Actually, you don't really. Yeah, no, with that vibe, if you're going to Pop World after, then you'd take Pickford, wouldn't you? But if you just want a pub vibe, you've got it. Yeah, I agree with you, Matt.
Les, just to double back to the previous question, do you reckon Seamus would be a good shagger?
Yeah, I do. I reckon he'd be a thoughtful shagger.
I reckon he's good in post game, isn't he? Like he'll go and get her a towel and whatnot afterwards.
Yeah, he'll ring her the taxi rather than her having to ring her own.
He's definitely gives a cuddle.
He'd chop her off.
Well.
He'd chop her off. Wouldn't
rally cry after.
Coleman's good at foreplay, and he may be shit at the sex, but the girls forget about it after the foreplay, so we'll end it at that.
My only concern with him is he seems to get very angry when he gets excited, so...
That's the little now and again, the little
stop punching the headboard.
Yeah, stuff like that,
yeah.
He's got you're throwing a little bit of randomness, wouldn't you? You know, a bit of variety.
Copping his ear at the webcam. Hey, what webcam? Less said, the better.
Just this tiny little ass bouncing would look boss, I reckon.
Right, we'll move on to Stephen Sheehan's question. Oh, Christ. If you could be any animal, what would you be and why?
Horse.
Okay, because...
Well, for obvious reasons, but also I think you've just got a peaceful life to live there, haven't you? As long as you're not a racehorse, like. But you know, you like the weather as well. Any weather, you like when it rains, and I like when it rains similarly. And you know, you could always have someone on your back as well, walking around having a chat with you.
You're never lonely as a horse, are you?
Exactly.
Yeah, fair enough. Warren?
Anything that flies, so like anything, because I think that'd be a great thing to do, wouldn't it? Be able to fly just wherever you want, just to get off. Oh, I'm getting off now. You just fly wherever. So I don't know what's a good. Keith, you're good with animals. What's a good flying animal?
You're good with animals.
I think you'd want to be like an apex predator flying thing, wouldn't you? So you wouldn't want to be like a pigeon or something.
Like a falcon or something.
Yeah, but pigeons are surprisingly intelligent, aren't they? Because you know they got us through that war, didn't they? That we were all, you know, with the messages and stuff, homing messages.
Yeah.
If we're going birds of prey, you don't want to be an eagle, because an eagle's obviously going to be a bit arrogant, a bit of a prick. I reckon a falcon would be sound.
Falcon, yeah. A falcon,
self-assured, but not an arsehole about it.
I want to be one that like can cross continents as well. So not one that like flies sort of a bit north of the North Sea and then decides it's not for me and turns back inland. I want to be one that can like just go fuck off and just go wherever.
So you never have to see another winter again, basically. Yeah.
Just go to warmer climes whenever I wanted. Yeah. But think like just imagine just like getting off and just flying. Great.
Yeah. Goose.
You're at risk of getting shot though, aren't you?
Not if I'm a falcon, Dave, and I can just get off across the continent. That's more. That's more of a. More of a pigeon. High. Yeah, more of a pigeon or a, I don't know, duck or something.
Duck.
Ducks are quite rapey, apparently.
There's no
they
way
are, yeah.
ducks don't
Apparently they
fly
are
off.
horrible
cliffs and
bastards.
hogs.
Do we need an allegedly on this?
I don't think legally we do need an allegedly now.
No.
There's no way a duck flies off to another continent, is there?
Ducks doesn't fly across the water like the big waters. They only do the pond shit. Like, so you're fucked there, really, if you're a duck. You will get raped. So we move
Headline,
on.
No,
yeah. Headline
Go
in the
from
Echo next week.
Birkenhead to Bootle.
So yeah, if they go to Birkenhead, they're getting fucking raped. Have you seen those type of people?
Fucking hell.
Seriously, come on. Unbelievable. Keith, I'll fellow oblonga. I'll come to you.
Right. I'd be a
I'm
flamingo.
going to be
'cause
some
I'm-
sort of scouse-eating monster now, I think.
I'm being a flamingo because I'm fucking fabulous.
You got legs like one as well.
Exactly.
Standing
Just
there
sit,
on one leg.
just sit
looking
off, sit off in the fucking in a marsh somewhere all day, looking good,
Just
chilling
sit
out.
on. Yeah.
Just
Shout.
wanting photos of people.
They don't have any sort of natural predators, so yeah,
That's a good shout.
It's a
That's
great colour as well.
Mm.
Into that.
yeah.
Matt?
The flamingos really have no predators.
I like not. What's going to eat a flamingo?
An alligator to do a flamingo in, wouldn't
Yeah.
Maybe an alligator, yeah, but like just go to a fucking pond that hasn't
Mount-
got an alligator in it.
he? Yeah, but that's
Mountain
the thing,
lion would
though.
have a go.
Check on Google. Obviously, you're going to go on TripAdvisor, right?
I don't imagine you get many mountain lions in
What is it?
Florida, though, to be honest.
Flamingo TripAdvisor. Find a marsh somewhere that doesn't have alligators. And just go and sit off.
Yeah.
Sound.
Hang on, flamingo predators I'm Googling now.
That's 2020 in a nutshell.
Lions, leopards, cheetahs, and jackals.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I know, but they're cats, so they can't swim. In the middle of the
That is a
marsh.
great shout, yeah.
Okay,
Just swim away.
okay.
Jackals.
So flamingo, but I'm a sensible, cautious
Eagles?
flamingo. I'm not just throwing
Eagles
caution
can
to
do a
the
flamingo.
flamingo.
Do you know what it says here, right? So it goes one of the, on Google, it gives you like a sub question to what you've Googled, so what you can find, so you
Yeah.
can find out more. So the sub question is, how does a flamingo protect itself from predators? And it doesn't really have anything special, but what it does say here, it says greater flamingos live and feed in groups called flocks or colonies. They find safety in numbers. So they're quite loyal to the mates as well. They're quite like, they've got a lot of mates and they stick together, which I quite like. So I think, that helps. It says it
And
helps.
they all carry
Yeah.
flick knives, didn't they?
Yeah, well, that as well.
Do you say they all carry
Oh.
knives?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What?
Flick knife.
Have you
Fuck
seen a
off with you.
flamingo's beak, Dave?
What?
Have you seen a flamingo's beak? That's having your leg right off.
Well, I thought he meant an actual knife.
What do you do as well?
Fuck
know,
off.
do you know-
yeah.
That's
You're
why they got the
telling
one.
me.
That's why they got the one leg up, because it's holding the flick knife.
It's got a knife behind his back, isn't it?
Call an ambulance.
Seriously,
But not for me.
do you know the way people say about if you go to attack a swan, it breaks your arm with its neck? And I've never seen that theory.
I don't know anyone that's ever had their arm broken by a swan.
Right, but there's that theory, isn't there, about if you go to get a swan, it's that neck's that strong, it could break your arm.
Yeah.
Is and this is a serious question, I'm not trying to be stupid here or not and flick knife or anything like that. Can a flamingo do a similar thing, do you reckon? Or does it have something that's so strong that it could break? Like you said there, Keith, about the beak.
It's all rumours, isn't it? So
Well,
Swans started that rumour.
Dan seems to think they go to B&Q and get a new one.
Because if
I
that
saw a
beak...
I saw a bloke the other day lift a swan up to get it out of his way.
What?
Yeah.
That's a dangerous person, that.
He was coming from one side of the field where I live, where there's like a marshland, to the other side where the pub is. And there's one of those gates, you have to enter it, go in, shut it, and then come back. You know what I mean? One of them.
Oh, yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
And on the pub side of the gate was a swan. And he opened it up, went in, with the gate as protection, reached across, grabbed the swan under its head, round its sort of neck, lifted it, angled it a few feet away from him, plonked it back down, and then went through the gate. And the swan just looked at him like that. And he went,
I could have broke
safe,
your arm, mate.
safe.
Easy.
and he went to. I was out with my dog. My dog was losing his shit because he loses his shit at Swans anyway. But yeah, this guy obviously does this on a regular basis. The Swan is clearly like the sort of the gatekeeper of the pub entrance. And this bloke just literally reached across, really swift, really quick action, no time for dilly-dallying. Bang, neck, lift, plop, through, pub.
The
Sounds like
doesn't bother her.
Sounds
It
like
was
the
a-
Morgan Schneiderlin of Swans. That just doesn't bother with anyone.
So was he taking the Swan to the pub though? Because I as a Swan would also be acceptable to his situation. Or was he going the other way?
He was going the other, yeah, so he manoeuvred the Swan to his left.
Oh, I thought he
to
was
get
going
to
to
the
the
pub.
pub. I was like, oh, that makes sense. Yeah, so the Swan was going to the pub with him.
I didn't hang around to see if they went in for a shandy. I just
What the fuck is going on
To
here?
be honest, right, if you were in a pub on County
Mailbag
Road,
Dave.
you wouldn't be surprised if someone walked in with a Swan, would you? The gaps
No,
on
under
County
the
Road,
arm.
are those kind of pubs.
The places I was in on Boxing Day, I swear to God, every person that was coming in, I was like, I'm on County Road, of course, fuck on this is happening. Fucking
Yeah,
shit
there was a
show,
fella-
but it was beautiful.
There was a fella who always used to walk around county roads with an ostrich. And down Bootle Strand as well. And I used to love he'd stand there and get a photo with it, honestly.
Christ. Okay.
That's what Bootle's like, mate.
There's a lad that walks a ferret in
leave Bootle
Burger
alone.
Park.
There is, that's true.
There's a lad in Wallasey who rides his bike around with 2 parrots on. So he has a parrot on his shoulder, one on his handlebars. Very strange.
There is. I think every town has got some sort of person who walks like a animal avenue that's not a walking animal. Do you know what I mean? Like people have rabbits and stuff that they walk, and like foxes and stuff like that. But there is a fella who walks. What was it you said, Keith?
A ferret.
Yeah, there is. I've seen the video. Yeah, walks a ferret.
Hey, Charlotte, what animal are you going to be?
Oh, a dolphin, easy.
they're a bit rapey.
Yeah, but I'm happy to rate people, don't worry.
Hang on. Why do you want to be a dolphin? You literally can just sit off in the sea and that's it.
You don't sit off in the sea, you fucking swim in the sea, you don't go, oh, this is like chill. Like you
Well, yeah,
fucking
but what
like
do you-
go like
That's like all animals.
what do you mean? Like what you okay. So
all
you are
animals
you
sit off.
yeah, are you saying a bird? Yeah, exactly. If you're saying you're a bird, you're flying. I'm
Yeah.
a dolphin, I'm swimming the shit out. And when they captate me and I get into a captation, I can nut humans because I've been nutted by a dolphin. And there we go, I want to be a dolphin.
Have you ever seen that video?
And also they have the they also
dolphin
have
nutted
the
on you?
intelligence of a human.
Well, yeah. Have
Yeah,
you
a
seen
dolphin's nutted me.
have you seen that video of them getting off the tits on pufferfish?
Yeah, well, I mean, like,
So there's dolphins
I
swimming
also
around.
I just feel like
They'll grab a pufferfish and give it just enough pressure so it secretes some poison to get them off the tits, and they pass it round. It's unreal.
Tell you what, get
Okay,
a
so
dolphin
yeah,
in the Gladys Street.
Pass round.
that definitely sounds like me as well. So that's perfect. But
Yeah.
also they are dead intelligent like I am. So
Perfect. There you go.
there you
What?
go. That's
Christ almighty.
I know. Starting to sound like all
I feel like my answer's very vanilla compared to all that horrible nonsense. My animal's not rapey at all. I'd be a marmot. I love them. They're like
A
big fat
marmot?
squirrels that just live in North America and sit on
Yeah.
cliffs looking out into the distance. I'd be one of them.
Oh yeah, of course.
Scout. Yeah.
On a similar
Be great
vein,
show.
what about a quokka?
Happy little
A what?
fuckers, then, aren't they?
Quokka.
What are they?
They're like they're an Antipodean marsupial type creature, and they have no known predators, and they don't like hunt anything. So literally, they have no fear whatsoever of human beings. So they just come up and like get in people's photos and stuff and smile at them.
Oh, mate,
How'd
they
you
sound
spell that?
great.
They're great,
Yeah, they are sound little fellas.
big into quokkas.
Quokka.
Hey, Les, you know when you put this out on the Blue Room Twitter,
Yeah,
you have to find about 100 photos of animals, you know.
I know. Let's do a montage.
Oh wow, look at them.
Maggie, 3 questions from Maggie. We recently received, what survey one again? What food do you want to brand me more? What did you vote for? What was on the list? What wasn't on the list that should have been there?
Salt and pepper chips all around, and for Grammy more.
Yeah, just chips generally.
Yeah.
Good pies for me.
They didn't put any vegetarian fake stuff on, so how am I supposed to eat as a vegetarian, really? Yeah.
Chips are vegetarian.
No, I don't like chips.
Well, that's
Well,
a you problem.
what about that food that we all had at the Denby? What's it called? That pouton stuff.
Oh, poutine.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's
and
called
cheese.
chip. That's
Chips
called
and gravy.
gravy with chips on it.
Get a caribou concession stand in Bravo.
No, they should get a Wu-Tang scram, you know, like fake salt, pepper, shumai, fake duck spring rolls. I'd be babbing.
That is a shout, actually.
Hey, Les.
All right.
Do you know-
All right. Sorry.
No, go on, Sean.
No, go on.
No. I was just going to say, or I'll just eat meat, but that's not the point.
Les, what I was going to say, and obviously I presume a lot of other people have been there, but when we rocked down to Spurs' new ground, I mean, they look like all sorts of different things that could go on there at some point, didn't it? Like the amount of space they had. I know they had the brew, everything else in there that we saw. It looked like that could just fit literally anything that anyone likes in here.
It still blows my mind there that they have the, you know, I know it's like a thing anyway, but you know where the pint glasses they just put on like the poker chip,
yeah.
and the lager just comes up. Like that just saved probably about 2 hours worth of people queuing because it's just there you go.
But they have that at Man City. They have that
Yeah.
Man City and loads of other grounds. It's just Everton that doesn't have it, you know. Man City, I worked in the kiosk, and they had that. They also had it at St. Rugby's Club and all that bollocks. So it's just Everton that doesn't have it.
Palace don't have it either. We had to send a fella behind the counter to help pouring pints at Palace in the cup game in January.
I mean, do you think I remember the Palace Cup game in January?
Good point, well presented. It
Well,
wasn't
I'll tell
even
you what,
January, that's how well
Yeah,
I
there
remember.
you
I was just about to say it was March, so well done, you two.
Is there anything to be said for getting a Greg's?
In the ground.
Yeah.
Overrated, Greg.
I was just about to say,
not-
Dave, I like a Greg's, but it's for me, like, it doesn't beat an old school Sayers or Pound Bakery
Yeah.
even.
Disgraceful,
From the Pound Bakery in
disgusting
Sayers.
Greg slander.
I'd be up for some sort of like independent snack shop, definitely. But I'm not. Yeah, Greg's. It's when people from like from the UK go on about to Americans or to foreigners. Oh, you've got to have a Greg's while you're here. But like, there's so much better food than Greg's.
Yeah.
Sorry, any Greg's fans out there, but there is.
Me and Warren are just slowly like drifting apart here. Used to like you a lot.
Sausage bash and a cup of tea for £3 though.
No, listen, it does its job. I'm not saying it doesn't. It's fine, but it's not something to be bestowed upon and held in high regard.
Warren, do you remember when you ordered the coffee from Greg's? That's why you're not allowed a Greg's, because you put so much caramel and fucking sugar into the situation. It wasn't even a coffee. So you can't even be like, what was it? What was in it? Like a mochaccino with like honey, caramel, extra sugar, all that.
You're one of them.
Come on.
No, can I give this? Can I give this some context?
You're not a Greg's connoisseur at all.
Right. Do you remember we got an extra day off because the Queen died? We played West Ham, didn't we? Yeah.
Yeah.
So it was an earlier kickoff because it was supposed to be at 2:00 on the Sunday, right? So early kickoff. Knew we were going to be on the Underberg. Knew we were going to be in the Denby. Knew we were in for a long day ahead because it was the NFL was on, the Red Zone was on as well. So I thought, you know what? Have a little something on my stomach. Have a little bit of sugar to keep me going. So I just ordered. Can't remember what it was, but I ordered something. And Charlie's right. There was a lot of sugar involved. But was I good? Come 11:00 that night, I was great. So there we go.
It was your plan. You don't know what to do that.
Hey?
I do like a vanilla shot in the coffee, I'm not gonna lie.
It's not the sugariness of the coffee, although coffee should have one ingredient and that is coffee. It's the fact that you're that guy who goes into a Greg's and you're stuck behind him and all you want to get is a sausage roll and he orders a coffee with about 8 things in it. And by the time you get to the counter, it's about fucking June. It
was one drink. It was in there about 2 minutes. That was it.
Go to a coffee shop if you want to get one of them.
Well, Greg shouldn't sell it then, should they?
I agree there.
Anyway, Greg's shite. Move on.
We'll move on. We'll move on. Dan, I'll come to you on this one. Who would be your preferred live entertainment at Bramley Moor after the game? Sounds like there's got to be a lot going on after the games at Bramley Moor.
Just no fans there.
Yeah. Or
Playing
there's
no
nothing
one.
going on during the game, so they might as well do something after.
I mean, it all depends what you want, really, innit? You know what I mean? Do you want, do you want something to sort of like distract you from what's just happened? Because if you do, then you want something, full of sort of high energy, something maybe with a terrifying wall of death mosh pit, just to get all the aggression and anger out. One of those ones, one of those ones you see that's always in Sweden or somewhere in Scandinavia.
Yeah,
where there's a group of people just doing this, that kind of thing, and they're all just swinging, hurling, and the music invariably is just someone going like that, some sort of hard screamo kind of thing, and just this sort of whirling dervish of violence,
So yeah, Scando death metal.
Yeah.
What about if you just walk through the tent bong though?
Oh no, but on the other side of the tent bong, there'd just be a sort of, one of those sort of Midwest drone bands.
Okay, yeah.
That wear some sort of cape or cloak, and it's just like a constant sine wave of like that.
Yeah,
that's the other side of the tent bong.
What's it didgeridoo?
That Himalayan throat singing or Tibetan throat singing.
Yeah, you got to cover every eventuality here, haven't you?
Exactly.
Yeah, but mainly cover for people being pissed off, I suppose.
Yeah.
Matt?
None. To be honest, I'm just not into that. Like, I can understand why they're posing the question, but let's be honest, they do it like 3 or 4 times, and it would just look embarrassing. And I mean, what is it actually going to be? It's not going to be something that'll like keep you around or not, and unless it was like a partnership with local independent music or something like that. Do you know what I mean? Like you pay an extra tenner and you get in for like, I don't know, a 5-band gig with the headliner being like Spin or something. It's just,
I'll be
it's
all
just
in
not
on
going to
that.
happen, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I would as well, yeah.
I
want you already up there, but it's going to be like Jennifer Jewell, isn't it? It's yeah, just don't bother. And
Yeah.
like that says, if it's a bad result, like no one's going to be up for it anyway. You're really taking a risk. You've got a better shout doing things beforehand. And one of the things I think they could do beforehand is, I don't know how logistically this would even be possible, but have the women's game on before the men's game, and like put massive discounts on everything in the ground, like £2 ale or whatever like that. £2 pies. Get everyone in. Watch the women's game, share them on, and then people start to filter in for the men's game. You get a double header. I think they started doing that in the cricket, haven't they, Keith? Having double headers.
Did you do that in the 100s? They have the double headers to scrape the day out.
The franchise.
Yeah, that is a good shout. And then everyone can feel how it feels to see Everton lose twice in a day. Which is an
hey, the women are considerably better than the men.
Oh God, yeah. 100%. Shaw, what do you reckon live entertainment after the game at Bramley Moor? Can you hear me? Dave, will come to you.
Well, I don't know if anyone remembers this, and I'm sure it was in, I'm saying like peak Moyes, so like 05, 06. Beverly Knight was on for no reason whatsoever.
Beverly Knight
was on at halftime, and she was fucking appalling. And I'm starting to think that just work with it like in the opposite direction. So that question's been asked to us with the idea of we want someone really good on who's going to get us all in the mood and whatnot. Get Beverly Knight on or someone really shit and make us really angry. Make you actually hate what you've been there to watch. And then we all get in the right position to watch the second half where we can possibly, if they turn up for once, support the team. So I'd have a bit of Beverly Knight. I'd have Amanda Holden, bring her on. And yeah, that'd be for me. I'd like Amanda Holden to present everything.
Jamie Webster, half-time entertainment. There you go.
There you go. Here alongside Beverly Knight.
No, I would walk out if Jamie Webster.
That's what I mean that's what I mean to get us all dead angry.
No, get angry by fucking walking out the stage. You can get angry. You can get, I'm going to throw stones at someone. It's a bit different.
There wouldn't be a seat left there, would there?
No, we'd all fucking walk out.
I tell you what as well, guys, we've got to get used to us having massive artists on there now as well, don't we? Because it's going to be like the Echo Arena.
Yeah. It's going to be
I know who I want to play first now.
Go ahead.
The Wombats.
The Wombats.
Yeah, because the proper, like, traditional... Hey, don't fucking name me. Like, boss tunes. Indie shit. I know all the words, so I'm right in the front. Are you fuck up? Of course, everyone knows the fucking Wombats. Well, that's who I'm picking, so you can all fuck off.
I'd rather have Bruce Springsteen.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, as if he'd fucking come there, though. That's the problem.
Or just get the pleasure rooms going there or something like that. Just get everyone off the cake before the game.
Pepper Mills recorder solo. An absolute queen of our time.
Yeah.
Yeah, in fact, you know what? A recorder solo from Pepper Mills of Zed Cars should be what the team runs out to now.
Yeah.
It seems fitting for some reason.
Right, guys, I'm going to have to love you and leave you because I've left everybody in the pub for like an hour.
Yeah, well, thanks.
Even though...
It was wonderful to see you. Thanks for joining us.
You're very welcome. Enjoy the rest of your time.
Have a lovely
evening.
Happy New Year.
Happy New Year.
I'm about to go and get shit faced. See you later.
Nice one. Have a good night, Charles. Bye-bye.
I mean, I might not be able to leave, but we'll try. Right. See you later.
See you later. Bye. Right, so we've got 2 questions left. And then we might go on to some others, but we've done an hour, so probably not. Favourite Everton and non-Everton related thing about 2022? Anyone?
Favourite's got to be Palace, on it.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's got to be really. There's no other contender.
There's not much else to shout about. Or winning the Cup in Australia with a sensational display of Park the Bus against Celtic.
Yeah.
I think my favourite moment was the goal against Newcastle because that was even more intense than the winner against Palace for me. Even though it meant more against Palace, that goal was just something else. And then favourite non-Everton moments. I'll tell you what, get everyone's favourite Everton moment while I have a think, Les.
Dan, favourite Everton moments?
I was going to say Newcastle game actually. Even though the Palace game was absolutely insane, that last minute goal, the hold up play, and the fact that it was delayed and everything that was just the sheer tension of that game and the release, the sort of the feeling that we weren't dead and buried. This wasn't particularly the final kind of death throes of this club. It was like, okay, there's more. There's a little. It was that glimmer of hope, you know.
Yeah, I think that's what.
And it's a great goal. It's also a brilliant goal. It's also.
Yeah.
We have to say at this stage, free Louis McKechnie.
Definitely.
Yeah, definitely.
And release the man.
And it was against Newcastle, and that T-Rex got flung. So
yeah, that was good. Yeah,
that was all good as well.
Imagine that fella when he got back home and his wife asked him where his inflatable dinosaur was.
Yeah.
He's not married, whoever he is.
Sorry, it's Marsh.
Yeah. Where's that
Yeah.
inflatable dinosaur I bought you? Matt?
Favorite Everton? You lot.
Right.
All the good times we've had throughout the
Oh,
year,
No,
and the
bless
Denby
you.
Castle, which has rapidly become. It's gone from being my match day pub to basically being my local.
Yeah.
And I met some cracking people there, staff and punters, and Fiona and Darby run it. Just absolutely 10 out of 10, first class publicans.
Yeah. Actually, on the subject of that, I think getting Jay hammered at the Denby is one of my highlights, definitely.
There was one, I can't remember what game it was. There was one night when everyone was just in a great mood, but we were all bladdered. And
Yeah.
it was good fun. It was good
Yeah.
fun. I can't remember what game. We won. I think we won the game, and everyone was just in a great mood.
that was
This
West
is a
Ham. I
novelty
think
in
it was,
itself, isn't it? West Ham? Or was
I
it?
think it was West Ham. Because we had the bank holiday. We had the bonus bank holiday,
Yeah,
didn't
we
we?
did.
Oh, yeah.
Liz kicked the bucket. And we
What was the game where we were all in the morning now when we did the live mailbag? Because we did another one before West Ham, I think, didn't we?
I can't remember what one that was.
There
that was
a
early
game
doors in the season.
Derby?
wasn't it?
Yeah,
The Derby.
the Derby.
Oh yeah, because they had the early kickoff, didn't they? So we had
Yeah.
a breakfast. We had a breakfast mailbag.
Yeah, we did. We did and do you know what? We actually played well that day as well. So everyone was in a great mood, and we should have won. There we go.
I thought after that game, I genuinely thought we'd have an all right season.
I know.
Well, we still might.
Still might.
Dave?
Yeah, a little bit different, and that was a lovely thing that Matt said, by the way. That was really nice. 3-0 at home to Leeds when Lampard was in. Again, like Keith said, it's another point where you think, we're going to have a good season here. We've got a new manager. Just beat Leeds 3-0 while they still had Bielsa then as well, didn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Us doing that to them, because I always feared Leeds with Bielsa, because I thought he did some really, really decent things that were just completely random. I actually started thinking of him potentially being our manager at some point. But anyway, yeah, definitely. It's there were a few seasons, there were a few games that give us hope, as in we're going to be a decent side here. And that one against Leeds was the one for me.
That game was a bit of a false dawn for
massively,
multiple reasons. But the worst one was it convinced people that Donny van de Beek was a footballer.
Yeah.
Mate, we lost 7 of our next 9 after that, 7 out of the 9.
Have you seen that
Van de
mural?
Beek I thought he was going to be the next big thing, next big midfielder, and he just needed a new club, and he was going to shine. Anyway, sorry, Les, go on.
I was just going to say that mural burns my head out every time I pass it on the way to the game.
They're all gone, aren't they?
Van de Beek on it. It's just got like loads of players from last season who just aren't there anymore.
Delhi.
Yeah, weird. Why would you
fucking hell, Delhi?
Odd. Really mad. Anyone got any Everton related things?
Do you know what? I was just looking at me pictures on my phone that I've taken like throughout the year, and like it gets this time of year, doesn't it? And everyone says it, oh, we've had a terrible year this year, and I can't wait for what the new year brings. And a lot of the time that is the case, because let's face it, life's not great, is it? Life's quite hard. But I was just looking at some of my pictures there, and I've got to be incredibly grateful for the year I've had, because obviously I've been to a few places with work and away with work and stuff, but in the summer, I managed to get to Vegas for the first time. I managed to get to see the Grand Canyon, did all the things in America that I wanted to do, go to the baseball games. Went to the Minnesota Twins baseball game. I was in the the equivalent of the lounges. So I got my free food, my free ale right next to the game and all that. So just looking at my pictures here, and do you know what? Without sounding too corny or cheesy, I should be really grateful for the year I've had. I've had a belter year, so long may it continue into 2023.
Oh, that's lovely, that, mate.
That would be a nice bit to end on, but we're not got it.
I've got a couple.
Go ahead, mate.
Let's go with typical Everton and end on a shit note. But go on, sorry, Keith.
I've got 2 both centered around my birthday in May. The first was the Friday night when we went through to Old Trafford for the T20 cricket, Lancs against Yorkshire, and it was just, do you know what? it's proper Sky Bet football behaviour in the crowd. But at the T20, it just seems acceptable. And it's the day that we resurrected Joe Root's career by mocking him as he went off after he scored about 3. We turned his career around there and then. Forget Bazball, we saved English cricket. So that was a great night. And then the following day, the Saturday, we had a day at the beach, and we all got leathered on the beach, drank a lot of rum. There was dogs. There was beach cricket. Oh, mate, just a sensational couple of days.
That was another day, that.
What a way to turn 37.
Wonderful stuff. Can't argue with that.
Yeah.
Matt?
You said this?
My favourite. No, that's me Everton one.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
Yeah. No, my favourite non-Everton thing of 2022 is a great big dollop of Schadenfreude, which is the crypto Ponzi scheme website, ftx.com, starting the year with a Super Bowl advert with Larry David in it and ending it being dissolved and all people involved being arrested and indicted for fraud.
Cue Curb Your Enthusiasm music.
Honestly, I've just not stopped laughing at that. And then last night, when the City players are coming out, and they're coming out with like a logo on the back of the tracksuits, which is like the next biggest one, which is now taken over as the biggest one. I was like, are you still taking sponsorship money from these obvious scams? It's insane. It
And
really
Everton
is.
are in talk with the tech company for the naming rights, so...
Do you know what? I'm reliably informed that, do you remember we had that period when we had no sleeve sponsor? I'm reliably informed that several crypto companies approached us and the club are like, no, we want nothing to do with all that stuff. Obviously, they've done all the silly little token stuff on the website, but in terms of like, because we've been burned, haven't we, with all the USM stuff?
Yeah.
So could you imagine it on top of that? And all of a sudden, we've got this logo of a company that's been exposed as a big, massive Ponzi scheme. It's like typical Everton, it would be.
Toffees. Dan?
My good thing this year was unsuspected when I moved out here to Suffolk. It was always going to be a difficult one to leave where I've lived for over half my life and where I brought my little boy up and everything in North London. And he's sort of started senior school this year, and it was always going to be a big shift to take him away from the only thing he knew in life. But actually, it's been an incredible year. It's been absolutely brilliant. I bought a canoe.
Yes.
I can canoe to the pub.
Oh, that's the title right there. Canoe to the pub.
The river. If I walk out of my house, turn left, I'm on the river, and in 40 minutes I can canoe to the pub.
Just gonna fight off the swans.
And and I just take a load of flares with me and pyro, and
It's like a Viking funeral, that.
But it's just been amazing. It's gone really quickly. There's been the odd little bump in the road with the boy and new schools and new surroundings and stuff. But so far, so good. It's been an unadulterated success. I never thought I was one of these people that was fundamentalist about the fact that I lived in London and I was born in London. And I was very much, once you're tired of London, you're tired of life as a mentality. And the fact that I was leaving made me feel guilty and like I'd failed. And all these things, I just felt like to leave was just the worst thing ever. But coming out here, it's been a revelation. And, being pissed in a canoe is a whole new level of fabulousness. So yeah, it's been great. So that's my real positive of 2022 is becoming a Suffolk resident.
Lovely. Dave?
Fucking hell. It's been one, I know most people say, but we won shocking 2022. But I think sort of finding out eventually what's actually wrong with me after end of 2021, having a stroke and wondering what the hell's wrong with me. So eventually finding out that it was epilepsy, and then that feels like a whole new education on its own. Having a seizure is absolutely no fun at all, as you can imagine, but it's sort of all about now getting the right levels of meds and stuff like that. It's not been any fun, but I'm starting to get to grips with it now because I've had 5 of those things happen to me since March. Each one's a bastard. It's like someone's beat you up, literally like someone's got a bat and just knocked fuck out of you. But the last couple have felt not as bad. So it feels like there's a progress coming with it. Look, I'm never going to get rid of it because you can't, but getting something to be able to manage it has been the thing that starts to get slightly better. Like, because I've had like 2 in the last 6 weeks, and on both of them, I haven't had to go to hospital. I've just had to have a kip and wake up the next day. Feel like I've been battered, but I feel like I don't need to go to hospital. So I know it's quite a sad thing to say, but to be able to still be here, still be able to do all this stuff, still be able to do the Blue Room, go to matches. The only thing I can't do really is drive. I haven't played a game of golf since, but I can still do all those things. So it was always shit, but towards the back end of it, you sort of do start counting your blessings a little bit.
And you can see a bit of light now.
Exactly. Knowing what's wrong with you is a hell of a lot better than trying to guess.
Yeah, defo. Right, final question, lads. Thanks for that. That was lovely. That would have been a nice way to end it, but we've got to end on a bit of a bum note potentially. So TWS has also asked, what's your Everton New Year resolution? We've got to finish on an Everton question. It's a New Year's resolution. It's New Year's Eve, nearly so. What's your Everton New Year's resolution? I think mine would be to not get quite as fucking bothered when they get beat, but that's never going to happen, is it? So,
yeah, I think mine's along them lines. To be honest, I'm trying not to get as angry at other people as well when they've either said a different opinion. Which obviously I love talking. There's no reason we started doing this 10 years ago was to get the opinions of Blues and whatnot. But because we become so shit, they do let you down so much that it's hard to stay positive about them. And like, it's funny because for all that reason, the amount of times I've been called that I'm miserable about Everton, when I personally think I've felt that that's okay, because to feel good about Everton and then let you down makes you feel even worse. So yeah, my resolution is to try and give less of a shit about the results and more about exactly what Warren said, exactly what Matt said, exactly what Keith said, Charlotte, Dan there. Is like the part of your life that, yeah, Everton are always crucial to all of our lives, but there's something better that you can always do regardless of how they get on. And like stuff like this, talking about Everton but in a funny way, and try and making the defeats and the shit that happens, try and make that a little bit of a happier, funnier sort of life to live about them. Do you know what I mean? But I know for a fact when it comes, who's our first game? Brighton. When it comes to Brighton, I'll be fucking outrageous when we get beat 3 or 4-1 by this fella who's
you're being a bit optimistic there, aren't you?
I know, that's what I mean. And like, you know, City coming up before New Year on Saturday. I'm gonna look at that and think, you know what? I'm in my mind, I reckon we're gonna get at least 5 past us. The fucking Haaland's gonna take the piss out of us. But I'm trying to get that in my mindset that fucking hell, I knew this was going to happen anyway. And I actually feel that if the players, obviously never going to say it publicly, but if Lampard and the players actually thought, you know what, we're going to get swatted in anyway, lads. Let's just fucking concentrate on what comes up with Brighton and home and all that. Just try and have a different perspective on why I support this football club that's wrecked our lives so much in recent years.
It's a solid plan. Warren?
Yeah, I remember in my 20s, like when I was younger, I used to get very wound up and very sulky if we got lost, and like the 2 extremes, if we'd won, I'd be out all night and all that, and you know, still out all night now, regardless if we win or lose or draw or whatever. But as I've got older, I've definitely calmed a lot more. But I think I said this to you, Les, last year, is that it does affect us, whether we like it or not, it does. And I was in a vile mood after Wolves, and it really bothered me. And I was in the shower and I'm thinking about Everton and in the games. I'm thinking, what am I doing? Like, I shouldn't be thinking about this, but we can't help it. It gets to you. And I think just touch on what Dave said there. When people, when I'm in work sometimes, people know how obsessive I can be and how sort of, how much it affects me. And I try not to let it affect me, but it really does. And, I remember Paul Merson saying on a Soccer Saturday once when he said when he went to Middlesbrough, he was just shocked because he was at Arsenal, wasn't he, all his career, and he went to Middlesbrough. And he said he was just shocked at how much the club meant to the fans of Middlesbrough. And he was like, when you're down south and you're playing for one of these London teams or whoever, he said to them, it's an entertainment. He said, to some fans, it's, obviously every club's got the hardcore support. He said, but to some fans, to some clubs, and this is not just a Southern thing, this is a national thing as well. He said, it's like going to theatre. It's an entertainment. You're going out for the day to watch the football. He said, when I went to Middlesbrough, I realised that this is people's life. And it's the same with Everton, I think. I think it's the same with Everton is that it is our lives, a lot of us. It's not the be all and end all, of course it's not, but it's a big part of our lives. When people ask me, like, why are you so, this is in work, why are you so into it? The reason I always give is, I love the football side of things, but if it weren't for Everton, and this is getting a bit corny and cheesy again, but if it weren't for Everton, I wouldn't have half the mates I've got. And I've been invited to weddings, I've been invited to christenings, I've been invited to birthdays, significant birthdays as well, 40th, 50th, 60th. We do a thing every Christmas, all the lads who go pre-match to the pub, and we go out in Ormskirk and do Christmas jumper day. Everyone's got to wear a Christmas jumper. And we don't really talk much about the football. We talk about each other's lives and everything else. And when I sit and reflect on all that, and even this, what we're doing now, the only reason all this exists, which is a good 60% of my life, is because of Everton. So I think that's why it bothers us and gets to us so much. So even though I will say to myself in the new year, I'm not going to get wound up as much about it. I'm not going to let it annoy me. It does. It does, because it means so much to us. And so, there's more hardcore supporters than myself out there who go everywhere, and it is their life. So I get it, and I understand. But I think what I want to try and do is we've done Brilliant Rooms, me and you, Dave, and Les, and all of us, where I sort of get Brandon, Matt especially goes, come on, Warren, bring the positivity back into it. And I probably am a little bit over positive sometimes. And I'm probably one of them fans who, like with Van de Beek, has one good game and I'm all of a sudden like, oh, they're going to be brilliant for us, when ultimately they're not. But I just want to, I don't know, for me personally, I think going into the new year, I just think I got in a bit of a worry on Saturday, Boxing Day after the game, and it was all doom again. And listen, we're not gonna, we are in trouble when it's not going to be an easy ride. But I still firmly believe there's a half decent side in there somewhere, and we just need a bit of help. So I just think my New Year's or Everton. What was the question? Everton
New Year resolution.
I think it's just to remain quite calm about things and just let things have the flow. Don't let it wind me up so much. Don't let it affect me, even though I know it will. But then to quickly come back and go, do you know what? Yeah, like actually, it's given me a lot of good support on Everton, and it has. If we all know, and of course we do, we're Evertonians, but ultimately, 90% of support on Everton's given me a lot of enjoyment. So, part of the football side of things, but yeah, it has. So I just want to keep that in mind, and that is a really sort of cheesy, corny way of answering that question, but. Yeah, it's given me a lot of good times, Everton, and whether or not we're good on the football pitch is irrelevant sometimes. And that's what I'm just going to try and remember.
Fair enough, man. Unfortunate use of good times there, but we'll let that one go. Matt?
I did pick up on that as well. Mine is just simply to go to more women's and reserve games, because season ticket holders can get in for free. And it's Everton, but without the anger and anguish. I find I enjoy them so much. I mean, well, I would say I enjoy them more because when I'm actually in the ground for the men's games, I'm not enjoying it. Whenever we do a stupid pass or something like that, most of the time I'm kind of just laughing. Like I'm one of those annoying people who just laughs out loud whenever we do something shit, and then I might get a bit annoyed after the full-time whistle. But it's just the vibe there is so much more mellow, and more families and that. You could just stand there. You can stand, which is something nice. You can just stand there and cheer them on and that. And yeah, it's just, and they need more and more people. And if we start piling in there to the women's games, eventually they're going to have to go, Christ, we're going to start putting these in Goodison now.
Yeah.
So I think when we play Liverpool, that's going to be a Goodison Park. Hopefully, that should be a good gate. Because you see what they had in Spain, like Christ, the Barcelona Real Madrid games that they had. Was it early this year?
Yeah.
90,000 people in to watch a women's game. It's absolutely, it's going stratospheric over the next 10 years.
Yeah.
So you may as well get on the train now.
So true.
That's a shout. Dan?
Simple one, really. I haven't been to Goodison for a couple of years. Moving and my work, my business, and various other things have just meant I just can't find the time to do these sort of things. But New Year, I'm coming up. I'm going for my half man, half biscuit tour with the great man. I'm going to pour some Underberg in my eyeball. I'm going to let myself loose in the Denby disco and have salt and pepper fucking everything.
Brilliant. Can't argue with
There's
any
always
of
a
that, man.
ticket for you up here, mate.
Looking forward to it.
I
Always.
was just about to say, if you ever need a ticket, let us know, and one of us will sort you out.
Yeah. Keith?
I'm going to finish on the nice negative note you were hoping for, Les.
Yes, there we go.
My Everton resolution for 2023 is not to engage with them in the fucking slightest unless I am financially obligated to do so, i.e. home games that are covered by my season ticket. If I haven't paid to go, I'm not talking about them. I'm not going. I'm doing nothing. I'm having a better life without them. The break over the World Cup was just magnificent. Like, not having to worry day to day about football and just like enjoying a bit of nonsense going on in the background was great. I'm going to do nice things with my weekends instead. Come April time, I'm going to start going to the cricket a bit more. You know, going to go for nice walks in the sunshine. Anything that's not ruined by 11 millionaires in blue.
And that is the perfect way to end the show.
Yes.
Great. That was a great way to promote the Blue Room there, Keith. Thanks for listening, everyone.
Yeah, cheers,
I'll
Keith.
still do the occasional post-match if you want me to, Dave.
There we go. That's the stuff. Nice one, Keith. Cheers, Dan. Cheers, Matt. Cheers, one. Cheers, Dave. Thanks to Charlotte as well. Thanks to everyone who sent questions in for this and for the past year. Hope everyone has a wonderful new year, regardless of how the Toffees are performing during that period. And we will catch you in 2023. Have a belter.